Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Matt with the Hardcover Comic, and I know that yesterday Mike did a video showcasing the Valiant Universe, talking about what he really liked about it and all the deluxe editions. So I thought I would actually go ahead and take this a little bit further and show you guys the digital side of it and everything you can do. I did make a video about this about 6 months ago. Not the best quality, I do apologize. So I thought I would redo it. Plus, I do have an update from the previous video. So first up, for $60, which I will actually post the links that you guys can purchase these at on this video in the description. So that way you guys don't have to go around searching for it if you don't need to. But you can get these on GetCorp's website. You can also get these on the ValiantStore.com website. But for $60, you get 592 issues of Valiant Comics. Going from 2012 up all the way through the end of 2018. Anything past 2018, they unfortunately do not have at this point, but hey, you still get 6 years, 592 issues of epicness, okay? Pure epicness. It's great. That being said, they also have a couple things now where you can also get Bloodshot, all the Bloodshot comics. I think it's like $30 or something like that. But you get all the Bloodshot comics. You can also do a thing where you can buy all of the Valiant stuff digitally from back in the 90s. So everything Valiant, all those issues from back in the 90s, the original Valiant days, you can now get those as well. Whereas when I made this video originally, they only had this. But $60, you can still get this. My last video, I had said previously that if you used up your 2 licenses, which is what you're given when you're given this, you have to pay $30 for a new license. Well, I have my 1 license on my iMac. I had my other license on my iPad. I had to get a new iPad, which means I had to get a new license. And I was initially kind of upset that I was going to have to pay $30 for something that I've already bought once just because I upgraded my iPad. I didn't really think that was fair. Kind of bothered me a bit. But I reached out to GetCorp directly. And I said to them kind of what was going on and that, I upgraded my iPad and how do I go about getting a new license? And I will say it did take them quite a while to respond. Now, that could be due to coronavirus. I don't know. But that being said, they sent me 2 new licenses for free. They didn't charge me anything, didn't ask me to send anything. They just gave them to me for free. So thank you to GetCorp for doing that. I thought that was really cool of you guys. So I did want to update the video with that as well. But inside, you got this, right? Nice little slipcase here. Remove. You got the embossed Valiant logo on the black cardboard. My black cardboard is starting to fall apart a little bit here, so I got it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, see, it's kind of coming apart at the seams. Anyway, you got your instructions for how to log on, how to download. There is an app you have to download called Lock Lizard. You do have to download that. It also has your store key and everything else like that on there. Then you get your Valiant Key Fob. Now, I thought they did a really cool job on this. They do engrave it with the Valiant logo. If I can get it to focus here. They did engrave that with the Valiant logo, which I thought was pretty neat. Flips around, turns into the key fob. This little thing right here contains 592 issues of epicness, okay? So once you go ahead and plug this into your computer, you download the Lock Lizard program, follow the instructions, and then now I'm going to show you guys exactly what is inside this key fob. Stay tuned. All right, so once you get your thumb drive and everything plugged into your computer, you need to download an app called Lock Lizard. It has all this. I've already done all that, so unfortunately I can't show you that step. But once you download Lock Lizard and you put in the key and things to unlock everything, you'll get this. And then each time after, whenever you plug in your thumb drive, you'll get this disk IMG. Once you get that, go ahead and open it up, and then it's going to pull up all of the issues. Now, I don't recall if I renamed these issues at all, or if this is how they came. I want to say I did something with formatting it because it was driving my OCD insane. But I don't remember exactly what I did. I want to say I renamed them, but who knows? Anyway, so it literally has all of these issues in here. It's 597 issues, 591 issues, something like that. And I wanted to actually kind of pull up and show you guys some issues and kind of show you guys the art and really sort of dive into it a little bit. But unfortunately, because of the Lock Lizard and the way that it's set up, it knows when I'm doing screen recordings, and it won't actually allow me to do that. So whenever I do it, it just pulls up blank. So I do apologize. I can't show you guys the art or anything in it, but just trust me, It's all fantastic. It's all great. Some wonderful, wonderful artists. But I can still show you guys at least all the issues and things that are included and really kind of show you guys the scope of what is all on this thumb drive. So you have the 4001 AD Mini along with all the tie-in issues, Archer and Armstrong. Then you go down here, you have the Adventures of Archer and Armstrong. You have Armor Hunters, Bloodshot, which is ultimately one of my favorite characters. Bloodshot, Ninjak, and Shadow Man are my 3 favorite characters. Now, I love all the Valiant characters, but those are my top 3 favorites. So I do want to point something out, though, about Bloodshot that might be a little bit confusing to some people that aren't familiar with the Valiant Universe. So as you guys can see here, it says Bloodshot HC0, and then it goes to 14, 15, 20, up to 23, and then, okay, so the reason why this is, Bloodshot actually starts at issue 1. After issue 13, they renamed it to Bloodshot and the Hard Corps, which then ran for issues 14 through 23. Then it went back to being renamed Bloodshot with issues 24 and 25. So it is a little bit confusing, but that's why, if these look out of order, that is the reason why, just because of the way that they're named, but that is how the order goes. Then you have Bloodshot Reborn, which was another great series that they did. Bloodshot Salvation, which was probably my all-time favorite Bloodshot run. Jeff Lemire wrote it. It's absolutely phenomenal. Really, really, really love Bloodshot Reborn. Bloodshot Reborn is great too, but Bloodshot Salvation is by far my favorite. It pulls on the heartstrings and hits all the feels. It's a great book. Bloodshot USA. Then you have the Book of Death minis. Then you have Britannia 1, Britannia 2, Britannia 3. So it's 3 different minis over Britannia, which is another really brutal and graphic comic. It's great. Dead Drop mini, Delinquents, which is a really fun title featuring Quantum and Woody. Then we also have Divinity, which is ultimately one of Mike's favorite. I really enjoyed Divinity, but Divinity is probably one of Mike's all-time favorite Valiant books. If you were to ask him which one is his favorite, he's probably going to tell you Divinity is up there in the top 3 for sure. Dr. Mirage, which is a book that I actually love. I really, really love Dr. Mirage, and I wish that there was more Dr. Mirage love out there. I don't think that Dr. Mirage really gets, the love that she should get. I really dig Dr. Mirage as a character. Again, though, anything that has to do with supernatural, which Dr. Mirage is like a paranormal investigator with her ghost husband, and it's awesome. But anyway, I dig it. Eternal Warrior is wonderful. Love Eternal Warrior. Then you have Eternity. You have all the Faith minis, followed by the Faith ongoing that was happening. And again, Faith is a character that I wasn't really sure would connect with me. I wasn't really sure if it was something that I was going to enjoy. But I started reading it, and I really actually dig the character of Faith quite a bit. Faith is great. So you have all the free comic book day one-shots. You have Generation Zero, which was a lot of fun. Mike actually custom bound that one. Harbinger Wars, all the different Harbinger issues. For those that don't know, Harbinger is a group of people that are known as Psiots. And basically a Psiot in the Valiant Universe, I guess you could say, is comparable to a mutant in the Marvel Universe. So the Harbinger team is really sort of, I guess if you want to kind of compare to put it into comparison with, things that you guys might be a little bit more familiar with if you're not familiar with Valiant, is Harbinger is basically the Valiant's version of the X-Men. You could pretty much say that. It's the Valiant's version of the X-Men, and their big bad is a guy named Toyo Harada, who is basically the Valiant version of Magneto. That's really kind of the best way to explain it. It's completely different. I wouldn't say that they're that the stories are the same or anything like that. Like, it's very, very different, but I would say that, to compare characters, just kind of give you guys some insight as to who they are, that's how I would label it. So then you have the Harbinger Renegade issues, Harbinger War, Imperium, which Imperium is basically all focused on Toyo Harada and his story. Then you have Ninja K, which was written by Christos Gage, which is fantastic. You have Ninjak, which was done by Matt Kint, and that is great. Ninjak is one of my favorite characters. He's a British spy for MI6, who's also like this badass ninja, and he's just epic. I absolutely love it. He's like James Bond meets Ninja. Like, it's so dope. I love Ninjak. You have Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe, which they also turned into a webisode thing on YouTube. Bat and the Sun did. I think it's about an hour, hour and a half long when you put all the pieces together. You can still find it, luckily, on YouTube. I'm a big fan of Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe. There was a couple cheesy things that they did, but overall, I'm a big fan of, Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe. Punk Mambo. Unfortunately, you only get the introductory issue with that one because the rest of Punk Mambo came out after 2018. Punk Mambo dropped in 2019, so unfortunately, you do miss out on some of that Colin Bunn did. But it's wonderful, wonderful stuff. And Punk Mambo is really, if you guys are curious at all about what Punk Mambo is the female version of John Constantine. There's no other way to put it. Like, she's literally like the female version of John Constantine. I love her attitude. I love everything about her. Punk Mambo's great. You got Q2 Quantum and Woody. That one is actually doesn't really tie in with the 2012 reboot universe necessarily. It's just sort of like a fun mini that came out that brought back Christopher Priest to write Quantum and Woody. And Christopher Priest actually wrote Quantum and Woody back in the 90s. So this is just a really sort of a fun mini that kind of just sort of brings back that aspect of it. Then you have the Quantum and Woody from the 2012 reboot that kind of goes through. Then you have Quantum and Woody, basically the next volume of Quantum and Woody. It's a lot, I know. Then you have Rye, which is another excellent title with amazing art by Clayton Crane, written by Matt Kent. Once again, man, fantastic writers, fantastic artists all throughout. I don't think I've ever seen a Valiant book where I said, ooh, I don't know if I really necessarily dig the art in that. And I also can't recall a time where I've read a Valiant book. And I mean, there's obviously some that I enjoy more than others, but overall, like, I love the writers. They are getting excellent writers that just come and knock them out of the park every time. It's wonderful stuff. Valiant is amazing. Secret Weapons. Shadow Man. Shadow Man's another one of my all-time favorite characters. This one is actually the 2018 series that was written by Andy Diggle. This is the 2012 series that was actually written by Justin Jordan. And it's great stuff. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Especially the way that Justin Jordan tackled Shadow Man in 2012, kind of ignoring the Valiant Acclaim universe years of Shadow Man, which, yeah, he goes back to the 90s version, which is much better than the like I said, the Acclaim years of Shadow Man. For those of you guys that are Valiant fans, you guys know what I'm talking about. Then you have the Valiant, which is like a team-up miniseries that happened. You have Ivar the Time Walker, who is one of the Annie-Pata brothers, along with Archer, or not Archer, along with Armstrong, and then also along with the Eternal Warrior, the Annie-Pata brothers, which I know Mike probably went deep on his Valiant video because he is a big Annie-Pata brother fan. As am I. I really dig... Eternal Warrior blew me away. I wasn't really expecting much from that, and I was blown away by it. Ivar the Time Walker is just a really fun, awesome read. Ivar's a guy that controls all of like these time maps basically, and he can travel throughout time and go forward and backwards throughout history and things utilizing these time maps. And it's pretty epic stuff. Then you have Unity. Now, if I had to explain what Unity was, so Unity is also written by Matt Kent, and if I had to like I said, explain what Unity is to compare it. So if Harbinger is the version of X-Men for the Valiant Universe, Unity is going to be like the Avengers. That's really sort of the best way to put that one, is Unity is going to be the Avengers. Then you have Valiant High, which was just sort of like a fun mini that kind of went back and took some of the main Valiant players in that universe and put them all in high school, and was like, hey, what would happen if these guys were in high school? Then you have War Mother, which was another really great mini. And then last but not least, Exo Man-O-War, and this is a lot of Exo. So it kicks off with the Robert Venditti run of Exo Man-O-War. It ends with the Matt Kent issues of Exo Man-O-War, and it's a lot of Exo. You probably get more Exo Exo and Bloodshot are probably the two biggest ones that you get more of than anything. Exo, a lot of people probably say like, oh, it's the Valiant version of Iron Man. And in a way, I used to think the same thing until I actually started reading it. Once you start reading it, so I mean like on surface face value, sure, I could see why people would make that comparison. But once you actually dive in and start reading Exo Manowar, it is completely different. Completely different, not even remotely the same. And Exo is another fantastic, amazing title that I do strongly recommend people checking out and reading. So you get all of these issues, everything I just went through, all of this, and I'm scrolling through right now, all of these issues. Geez, I'm still scrolling. This is how many issues you get. All of these issues for $60. That's it. $60, excuse me, gets you all of those issues, $60. It's an amazing deal. So be sure to check it out. Let us know if you guys decide to pull the trigger on this, and if you do, hey, let us know what you guys think. They're also doing another thing where they have all the Bloodshot issues that you guys can buy. I don't remember the price points on these, but I know that Get Corp did a thing where you can buy every Bloodshot issue ever written, including back in the 90s through, now, for, I want to say it was like around $30 maybe. It was a little bit less. Then they also have, you can buy the Valiant 90s now as well. So this was actually the first one that came out. And then they had the Valiant 90s that came out as well, that has every Valiant book that happened in the 90s up to, I believe, where the 2012 reboot took place. So that's going to be another thumb drive that you can also buy. So they have a lot of different issues and a lot of different things that you guys can do to really dive deep into the Valiant universe. Get Corp did an amazing job with that. Teaming up with them. So there you guys have it. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Hope this helps explain a little bit more into the thumb drive for those of you guys that are interested, and hopefully you guys will take this plunge. Let us know. Thank you very much, and until next time, the power is yours.